I have done this intro like 50 times, and at this point I am tired, but the show needs to go on. Hello everyone, my name is Obashola. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are an old subscriber, a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. If you are new, please subscribe, join the family of love. All right, yes. So in this video I'll be showing you everything you need to build your makeup kit as a beginner, from your brushes, how to use your makeup brushes, how to use your beauty blender, how to draw your brow, how to get your base right, everything you need to know. So if you are a beginner and you've been wanting to start wearing makeup, you are in the right place. If this video really serves its purpose, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also refer your friends to my page. So yes, let us go straight right into this video. First of all, let me just give you like a background. So brushes are essential, so has beauty blenders, because they all serve different purposes. So one thing I advise is that when you want to start doing your makeup afresh as a beginner, you should get like those brushes that comes in sets. Yes, that way you're saving money. When I started wearing makeup, I ordered this set of brushes from AliExpress. So as a beginner, I don't think you need multiple brushes. In a situation where you need multiple brushes, means that the ones you have, you've washed them and you want to do your makeup, so that you have like spare ones to work with. All right, so these are the brushes I started with. I bought this from AliExpress. It is very affordable, and you can just get like a beauty blender or two beauty blenders. So with that in mind, let us start this whole process. So the first thing that you have to do when you want to do your makeup, you moisturize first. It is good to moisturize so that your base will have like a solid foundation to work with, so that your skin will be moisturized under that foundation. So you can blend with your hands or you can blend with your brush, but in this case, let us assume that we don't have so many brushes. All right, so we are working with limited stuff. As a beginner, I don't think you really have to buy stuffs. Yes, I'm moisturizing. I'll be going ahead with my primer. You have to know your skin type. It's very important you know your sweaty zone. Primers are very essential because you want your makeup to last long. You have like a normal skin type, dry skin type, you can use it. It is not really mattifying, but if you know you are very greasy and oily, you can go for the, I think there's this sweat block that's Blossom Cosmetic. I think they have like a sweat block or something. You can go for a very harsh primer. You can see that I concentrated majorly on my nose and at the center of my face. It is important. After that, for better hold, you can go ahead and set your entire face. I'll be using the Beauty by AD in Lucent to set my entire face. Let us use one of our brushes now. This is how this brush is shaped. I normally use this to set under my eye. A particular brush can serve different uses. Normally I use this brush to set under my eye, but right now I'm going to use this to just bake my entire face. Not really bake my entire face, and this is how I do it. I just press that in. This particular step is optional actually, but if you feel you just need a better hold or more hold on your skin, then you can go ahead and set your entire face. The next thing now is foundation. For foundation, I'll be using the Touch Finish HD foundation. This is how it looks like. Your foundation also depends on your skin type. People use matte foundation for better hold, but you also have to find out your skin type. It is very important, but I always feel you should use matte foundation. Well, it depends on your base. If you have dry skin, your base will just have to be very mild, but if you have oily skin, then you can go harsh on your base. I mean, using like sweat blocks and also using setting powder to like set your entire face. My foundation is not really my exact shade. It is more of the red undertone, of a very red undertone, so I'm going to mix it with this dark foundation shade. But it is better you get your foundation shade. If you are finding it hard to get your foundation shade, just get this multi-purpose concealer. Honestly, this is a very key essential stuff. I'm coming back to this. I'm just chipping this in because this is what I normally do when I don't get my actual foundation shade. I applied my foundation all over my face and it's time to blend. I'll be using this brush. This is one of those brushes that I showed you from the beginning. I still have it, and honestly it is even holding more. Like the glue here is even holding more than other brushes that I have. I've had this brush now for like 3 years and I did not regret buying it. It is a very, very good buy. This is how I blend my foundation. Blending is very important when it comes to foundation because you have to get your base right. So you have to blend till you are satisfied. So one thing I do after is that I go ahead with my beauty blender. This is how it is shaped. I got this from Miniso. I don't really use it that well because I don't like this bottom part and it cannot really go into the inner corners of my eye. So what I do is I just use this to blend. Yes, I think we are done blending now. Yeah, I think we are good with the blending. Yeah, let us go to concealing, which is my favorite part. Like I said earlier, it is good to always have this type of palette, this multi-purpose and multicolored palette. This is how it looks like. So when it comes to concealer, I don't really do much, and as a beginner you don't really want to do much so that you not go out looking like Ojiju. Always use a concealer shade that is 2 times lighter than your actual shade. This is how much I am going to take. So you can see that the little is like spreading out. Alright, you can also just spread it out for easy blending. Okay, so I just use the remnant of my brush to just go over my nose like this. Yeah, you can go ahead and also use your foundation brush to blend. If you have like multiple brushes, you can use another brush, but let's assume we don't have any other brush, that we have just this one brush. So let us blend. One thing I love to do is that I take a brush. See how this brush is shaped. This is also one of those brushes that I got like 3 years ago that I'm still using. It is shaped in this manner, so I'm going to use it to just like palette. If you want to buy singly, that's fine, but it is good when you buy palette so you can, just be versatile with it. So I'm going to be taking this white powder right here, and it will serve as the same one that I used to contour, so I'm also using it to, you know, bronze up my face. I'll be taking this other brush. Yes, I know this is a new brush. This is the 8th brush that we are going to be using to use this to highlight my face, and from the same palette. It is good when you have like one single palette that has different colors that you can just be, you know, picking and doing things and doing things. So I'm going to be using this gold shade right here to just I think I went overboard with it. Oh, Chineke. Yeah, this is more subtle. I'm going to tone that down. I think I really went overboard with it, but if you want to blind your enemies, you can't go overboard. So if you want to still have a very bright under eye, you can also still go ahead and just add. Like, there's nothing permanent in makeup. You can always add and remove and reject and carry away. So I'm going to just do this because I still feel I want my under eye to be way brighter than this. My sisters that don't like using false lashes, mascara is your best friend, honestly, because you're going to see that lift. Can you see the difference between this particular eye and this other one? Can you see? Mascara should be your best friend. You have to be very careful when you're doing your mascara, so that you not poke yourself, so that you not injure yourself. So don't come and say, oh, Ishola that said that. Please, my ends are clean. I'm a YouTuber and I'm telling you what I do. I also always focus on my lip because I love me a very, you know, good sharp lips. Yeah, so I'll be using the same eye pencil that I used for my brows. Honestly, everything is multi-purpose here. If you don't want to do much, you can just add your gloss and then you're good to go. But you can also use this palette. This palette is multi-purpose. So what I do is that I'll take this pink shade just with my hand. I'm going to use it here. Yes, I'm done with this entire makeup. I really look beautiful. I enjoyed filming this content for you guys. I just remembered back then when I was starting and all of that. I am really excited. I'm happy for growth. If this video was helpful for you, please don't forget to give my video a thumbs up and subscribe. This is everything you need. We only used 8 brushes for this entire face. 8 brushes. 8 brushes, which tells you that you don't need to break your bank. And brushes serve multiple uses. The brush you're using for your blush, you can use it for your face. You have a MAC foundation and you don't know how to use it, it is useless. If you are not using the right technique, it is useless. So I hope this video was really helpful to someone out there. You need, to start up your makeup, you can get a pen and a paper, or you can screenshot, because I'm going to leave the list on the screen. So you need a moisturizer, you need a primer, you need a foundation. You can get a concealer palette that contains lighter shades, darker shade, mint tones, warm tones, just like this one over here. Another thing that we need is your brush set, and you need a powder palette. You can get mascara. You know, I told you the importance of mascara just, you know, uplift your face. What else? You can get an eyeshadow palette that has, like, I think you can get as low as 3,000 naira, 3,500, or even 257 on Instagram. All those vendors that sell, they have like multiple, like 100 colors. Yes, if you search well, you definitely find a makeup vendor that sells all of that. I hope I did justice to every of your doubts or every of your questions. And if you have any question at all, you can comment down below. and I will help you out. All right, any question, whatever question that you might have. Products really matters too, but how you use it also matters. I hope I did well in this video. Like I said earlier, if you have any question, please put it down in the comment section down below. If you want a very detailed tutorial on brows, on eyes, on lip, let me know in the comment section. Yes, have a nice day, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.